Hi everyone, I'm so happy to see you all again. So today we are going to work on two prepositions that give English learners a lot of trouble sometimes. The prepositions for and since. And a lot of my friends who are learning English tell me, Joel, these are so difficult for me. I can't get it right. I just can't get it right. Well, let's start by talking about when we use them. Okay, so let's go back to the blackboard. That's what this series does. We talk about problems, and that's what I like to do in this series. People give me a problem that they have or something they're having trouble with, and we work on it here and back to the blackboard. So let's go back to the blackboard here. For or since. How do we know when to use it? Well, some simple rules to keep in mind. Memorize these and you'll be okay. Now, we can't just memorize, we need to practice. But as we practice, we will feel more comfortable, okay? So, use for with a period of time. Use for with a period of time. Let's look at the example. I have lived here for 5 years. So, I live in France now. I have lived here, actually I've lived here for 6 years. But in our example, when we're talking about a time period, you could say, for example, you might say, I have lived in Mexico for 3 years. Or you might say, I have studied Portuguese for 6 months. See, it's a period of time, okay? That period of time could be 1 day. It could be 2 weeks. It could be 3 years. It could be 20 seconds. See, I have been talking for, about 2 minutes maybe? I have been talking for 2 minutes. So we use for a period of time. A period of time. Now, since. Okay? Since. Let's look at that one. Use since plus the start of the time period. Okay? Use since plus the start of the time period. So, if I have been talking for 3 minutes, I could say I have been talking since 1:45, more or less. Okay? Since a time. Anytime you use a time, you can say since. Okay? For example, I woke up this morning at 6 a.m., 6 o'clock in the morning. I woke up at 6 a.m. So how long have I been awake? I have been awake since 6 a.m. and I have been awake for a little more than 6 hours. But I have been awake since 6 a.m. Okay? So let's look at some other examples. Okay. Let's look at some more examples, okay? Now, I'm going to give you some examples, and I'm going to say, for example, number 1, I run blank 30 minutes every morning. I run blank 30 minutes every morning. I want you to think, what's it going to be? I run since 30 minutes every morning, or I run for 30 minutes every morning. Remember our rules. What do you think? You've got it. I run for 30 minutes every morning. Okay? Let's do example 2. He has lived in Mexico blank 2010. He has lived in Mexico blank 2010. What do you think? He has lived in Mexico since 2010 or for 2010? You've got this one. Here we go. He has lived in Mexico since 2010. Remember, it's a date. So whenever that starts, since 2010. Okay, let's try number 3. Okay, I'm going to try to be tricky here. We studied blank 6 hours. Let me give you example 4 also. We studied blank 6 o'clock. This one's tricky. These are tricky, aren't they? Okay, let's try. We studied, number three, sorry about that, number 3. We studied blank 6 hours. Number 4, we studied blank 6 o'clock. You've got it. I know you do. Okay, number 3. We studied for 6 hours because it's a time period, right? So number 4 is going to be we studied since 6 o'clock. Okay? You guys are doing awesome. Okay, let's do one more. I have known my friend blank 1984. I have known my friend blank 1984. So we have a year, 1984. So what's that going to be? Think for a moment. For or since? I have known my friend blank 1984. I have known my friend since 1984. Okay, awesome job, guys. Thank you so much. Continue to practice these, and I want to come back and visit this from time to time. These are very, very easy once you learn them, but at first they can seem a little difficult and confusing. But don't give up. Hang in there, and I'll see you guys later. Have a great day.